Welcome to Making Life Easier with Dave Clark.
Hi there, I'm Dave Clark, and welcome to another edition of Making Life Easier. And you know, folks, I've shown you a lot of products on television. I have a product that I'm going to show you today that has been more fun and absolutely the greatest thing I've ever shown. You know, we've been showing tools, our company, for the past 25 years, Clark National Products. We've been showing tools of all kinds. I have a tool now called the Grip Master. It's an all-purpose clamping system. In other words, it does everything that you wanted to do, and it makes your work so much easier. But it's the kind of a tool that if you didn't see it with your own eyes, you'd never believe it. Now, I want you to come into our workshop, and I want you to meet Byron Maxwell.
How are you, Dave?
How are you, Byron? Nice to see you. Byron has been with our company for the past 7 years, and what Byron does all over the country, he shows us at tool shows, woodworking shows, state fairs. He demonstrates the use of the Grip Master. And let me tell you something. If you work with wood, if you work with anything, you're going to love this tool, but you have to see it demonstrated. So I want you to pay attention, and Byron, I'm going to come back and see you, but you go to work and show them exactly how the Grip Master works.
Okay, Dave, I'll do that. Folks, what you're looking at here on the bench is the basic Grip Master system. This is the vise that comes with it, and you attach the vise with these bench clamps to any surface you want to attach them to. Let me put the vise here on the end of my bench like a regular old bench-type vise. Folks, if you have a regular bench vise and you use them, then you know the worm gear is always up in the center here. And to put anything in it, you're always playing teeter-totter off your surface. With Grip Master, everything goes in level with my surface. Notice, folks, that it grips everything at both the bottom of the jaw and the top at the same time, on both sides, for greater stability. Also notice, folks, it has no teeth in there to mar or scar your wood. When I ran into this tool and saw the demonstration, folks, one of the things that excited me about the tool was the fact it was portable. I could take it out where I wanted to use it. Folks, I've had it attached to a tailgate of a pickup truck, a sawhorse, the edge of a door. You can attach it to any surface up to almost 3 inches thick. The vise weighs just 10 pounds. Let me put the vise, folks, in what we call the lower jaw position. I put it in this position when I want to work with my portable power tools, like routers, sanders, planers, things like that. When you route, sand, or plane with your portable tools, you probably do it the way I used to. You bring your stock over to an edge somewhere, use some C-clamps if you have them, or blocks on the end if you don't, nails sometimes, and then we work around everything. I've been in your shops, haven't I? Well, look how easy it is with the Grip Master. Notice I have another vise here on the bottom. And I want you to notice one more thing. All it ever takes to tighten the vise is thumb and finger pressure, 1/4 turn or less. And look how tight it is all the way down. But more importantly, folks, I can work the entire surface, corner to corner, all at the same time. Nothing to run my equipment into. One of the things that frustrates me, when I'm building alone especially, is when I run into these shelving-type joints. How do I do them alone? Or the old butt joint? That's the one I call my paint can special. That's where I go find a paint can, a brick, and a few magazines before I can work on this end. Well, look how easy it is with the vise. Just put your stock in like this, hold it there, and there's that old butt joint. Slick and easy. Notice, folks, I didn't get it quite right. So if you ever need to put a square on it, before you nail, glue, or dowel, just remember to take 1/4 turn off your vise. Then I can make those adjustments either way without losing control of what I'm doing. But do you have some special angles or projects you'd like to have some way to hold while you work on them? Like 30 degrees, miter joint, 60 degrees? What's that favorite project you want it to hold? Here's that old shelving joint that's so difficult for me. Just put it in the vise like that, put the other one on top, put a square under there, fine-tune it, tighten it back up, plop in the biscuits, dowels, screws, whatever. Now, folks, the reason the vise works that way is the fact that engineered into the tool, these jaws down here, they do close 1/16 of an inch before these. Folks, that's just the curve and the flex in the metal. That's why when I took that quarter of a turn off, all I relaxed were the upper jaws. I still kept control in the bottom jaw. It's like having a third hand. That's also what allowed me to do the angle work all by myself. I take an additional quarter turn, and I'm out of the vise. Now, as bench vices go, folks, that's almost a 6.5-inch vise. That's a big bench vise. We all know that. But if you work with wood the way I do, I work with a lot bigger things than 6.5 inches. Now what do I do? Well, here's how Gripmaster solved that problem. All I do, folks, is take the outside clamp off. I turn it around, and I put it in the center. And I think you'll see I just freed up that jaw. It'll now move that way on the bars and screws. I take this clamp, I turn it around and put it back on. Now let's put the vise back on my bench. Now the secret of the whole Gripmaster system, folks, is the fact that it has a third jaw, or an end stop as they call it. And that's this tool right here. Notice, folks, it has a 1/4-inch lip on each side. That lip is always level with whatever surface I attach it to. And you can attach it with the wing nuts like that, so that I have a vise now that will hold anything I want in any position I want while I work on it. How big a vise do y'all want? How long's your bench, right? Now, to show you how this works, let me attach this to the bench. And you just never use more than thumb and finger pressure. You bring this jaw down until it's flush, and you have that other vise. Now, if you have large flat things you'd like to have some way to hold right up on top of your bench, like a sheet of paneling or a sheet of plywood, just bring it down, lean it, put it against that third jaw, square it up down here. Are you noticing, folks, that I never use more than thumb and finger pressure? It's a woodworking vise. But again, I can route, sand, plane, polish, corner to corner, any size of piece I want. Now, if I want to work through this stock, like drill it or saw something off of it, the vise lets me bring my stock right off my surface and just snug it up again. Now I can saw that 4 to 6 inches off. I can do my scrolling, coping, jigsawing. It's not going to go anywhere. What's supporting it, folks? Remember that 1/4-inch lip I showed you? And on this end, the bars and screws. Now heavier things, folks, that I can't lift up on top of my bench, or sawhorse, or I don't want to. Those heavy things I'd like to hold somehow all the way to the floor while I work on them. The best example of that for me, I guess, has got to be a door. Have any of you ever hung a door or moved a hinge? If you have, I bet you did them the way I used to. I bet you climbed aboard that sucker and you rode it around the room while you tried to get it to work. Look how easy it is with Gripmaster. All I do is attach that third jaw to a sawhorse, a stud, wherever that door will fit, and I can get some pressure. And there's that door all the way to the floor. Route your hinge change, drill it for a lock, plane it to fit. But folks, if I ever need to put bevels on the edges of any vertical stock, the vise lets me rotate anything I put in it, so I don't have to get down on my hands and knees anymore. My router's easier to handle, my plane's level, if that's what I want to use. It's not going to go anywhere, but how tight is it, folks? Just a pop of my finger. What I've showed you so far, folks, are just a few things that the Gripmaster will let me do with flat square pieces of wood of any size. You ever wish, though, that you had a vise that would hold odd-shaped things, like gun stocks, table legs, axe handles? Well, Gripmaster came up with that idea. This is a little tool that they call their carving centers, or turning centers. Notice, folks, they have cups there on the end, so you know they're not a lathe. A lathe has a point, so these don't turn the wood. They grip wood and act like brakes, and they slide in like this. So when I have an odd-shaped piece, I just set up these carving centers or turning centers, center them, get a little bit of, walk down on this end, center it, get a little bit of pressure on it. There's my pressure. It's not going to go anywhere. But the fun part of this tool for me, folks, is the fact that I can turn anything I put in it to allow me to find where I want to work. But as soon as I apply the pressure of a tool, folks, any type of tool, It then pushes the pulp of the wood into those cups, and it won't turn. It doesn't matter where I work on it. I relax the pressure, turn it to the next spot, go right back to work. Great for those of you that maybe carve or checker gun stocks, or just a place to sand, stain, varnish, and allow to dry the odd-shaped things. No more fingerprints on them the next day, or that dreaded newspaper to pick off of. One last thing, folks, and then I'm done, and that's clamps. I never seem to have enough clamps, especially when I'm not in the shop. So if you need more clamps, and you do have the Grip Master, remember you have the Grip Master, because the two clamps that attach it, they make nice little C-clamps, or glue presses. Or you can turn them around the other way, and you can hold any round stock from 1/4 inch up to 1 inch. Wood, metal, even delicate things. Because notice, folks, no teeth in there to mar or scar. Now, these work on a spring-loaded cantilever effect, which means the tighter I tighten them, the tighter they grip. Now, you need something bigger than these? Well, don't forget the vise. There's up to a 9.5 inch C-clamp. Pressure, bottom and top. Need a bigger one than this? That's no problem. All I do, folks, is take the outside jaw off. I turn it around, and I put it back on. And then I go out to the wood pile and find myself a 2x2, a 2x4, whatever's handy. And I just set it in like this and tighten it down. Then I take the third jaw off and attach it to my 2x4, 2x2. I've even used a pipe sometimes and tighten that down. And there's your sash clamp, bar clamp, glue press. Need a longer one? Find a longer stick. One last idea, folks, and then I'm done. When I have the wood vertical like this, take the vise off, turn it around, so this flat part is now up here. The handle is down here. And I've turned it into a jack, and it will lift several hundred pounds. I've used it to hold cabinets against ceilings, pre-hung doors in holes. It's like having a third hand, or a chief helper that won't talk back. Now, when you get the Grip Master home, folks, you're going to find that it's going to be very light. What the tool is made out of, folks, is a hardened magnesium alloy. It's the alloy that they make the aircraft parts out of. Frames the big semis, racing cars. They use it all over in industry now, folks, because it's lightweight, but tough and strong. The bars and screws in the vise, they are case-hardened steel, all been plated to resist rusting. The quick-release jaw is 100% bronze spring-loaded. Why all that technical jargon? Because, folks, the Grip Master has a lifetime written guarantee. You damage or break any of the metal parts, or they fail on you, even in commercial use, Grip Master will repair them or replace them free. It also comes with some soft jaws for that delicate work. It comes with a book of instructions, all full of pictures. Shows what I've done, plus a lot of other things I haven't shown you. And on the back here is the written lifetime guarantee I talked about. And underneath is Grip Master's North American Service Center. And folks, if you have any warranty problems, here's where you call. It's the Grip Master, and I think you'll agree with me, folks, it's a very versatile woodworking vise. Dave, what do you think?
Byron, you asked me what do I think. I think, as the people out there watching, think the same thing. This tool is absolutely remarkable. And it's designed not only for the professional, it's designed for the hobbyist. The time-saving device, the work-saving of this a fabulous machine. Would you tell me the parts that come with that again?
Sure. You get some soft jaws when you're working with your upper jaw position for holding delicate wood. We also give you the basic vise, of course, the clamps to attach it, the turning centers or carving centers for the odd-shaped pieces, and, of course, the secret of the tool, the third jaw that makes the tool literally as big as you want.
In other words, you can work on anything at any length. You can absolutely work on the mast of your boat if you wanted to.
That's right.
It's a fantastic tool. And the price?
$169.95.
That's for everything.
That's for the whole basic
And,
tool.
by the way, I want to mention something, and this is very important. The price is $169.95, but do you know what you have with the Gripmaster? A full lifetime guarantee on every part. If you should damage any part using the vise for the purpose intended, we'll replace it absolutely free for your lifetime. And you get an unconditional, in writing, lifetime guarantee and a complete book of photographic instructions, so that when you get it home, I know you're going to have fun with it. But wait a minute, Byron. I know there are additional parts.
There are.
Would you put them out and show it to us and tell us what they're worth?
Surely. They have what they call tube clamping jaws. Notice they have different size holes in there, and they swivel. It's for holding odd-shaped pieces while you work on them. Folks, just so you'll understand some of the versatilities of the tube clamping jaws, notice, folks, that they have holes in it, and it swivels, so that when you want to put the golf clubs, the fishing poles, the pool cues, just put them in like that, tighten it down in whatever position you want, and go to work.
Those tube clamping jaws are remarkable. How much are they?
They sell for $10, Dave.
Okay, now what else do you have?
They have some lower soft jaws, when you have the vise in the lower jaw position, for working with softer things also. They also fit on the third jaw for the bigger things. Folks, I use these lower soft jaws when I want to work in my lower jaw position if I have finished products that I need to make adjustments to, or some way to hold them while I do some touch-up work, and it's in there solid with no marks on your product.
That's a dandy. That's a dandy. And how much are they?
They sell for $6.
Go ahead. What else do we have?
They have some metal jaws to put over the heads of the vise when you want to work with something metal so you don't scar the heads for working with wood. I use these metal jaws when I'm working on metal things that might scar up the heads of the vise. I just slip them on like that, put the metal piece in that I want to work on, slide it down, and tighten the vise up and go to work.
And that's remarkable, too. It'll keep you from damaging your vise or damaging whatever you're working on.
That's right.
And they sell for what?
$4.
Go ahead. What else do we have?
They have a drill holder that you can put any size drill in here that you might have if it has a collar from a 3/8 chuck up to a 3/4 commercial. You can also put a Dremel in there. Just put it in, lock it down, go to work. The drill holder for me is a great tool. I can put any size drill that I might have in there from a 3/8 chuck up to a 3/4 commercial, as long as it has a collar. Put them in, lock them down, put them on your Gripmaster, and there's your vertical drill press wherever you might need one.
Again, I have to use the phrase, remarkable. That gives you a portable drill press. Take it to your work instead of bringing everything to your bench.
That's right.
What's that sell for?
$30, Dave.
$30. I know you have one more part to show me.
I do. And it's this part here. It's called a bench pivot. And what it allows me to do with my vise is literally get my vise in any position I want to work on things. Folks, the bench pivot is another very versatile tool. Notice it comes with some T-bolts. Those T-bolts you can attach to your vise with these slots in either jaw. You decide which way you want to work. And to attach it, you just put the bolts down through the bottom and slide it over your vise and tighten it up. You'll notice when you get the pivot home, there'll be an extra slot on the other side that will allow you to rock that bolt in and tighten it down. I think you can see if I loosen it, you have your swivel. Now, to get you the rotation, then you start using your bench clamps. Now, if I attach the bench clamps like this, I am automatically at a 90-degree angle. And you can just very lightly tighten them down, put them in any position you want, all the way to the flat of your bench, and tighten them down. You can also get the swivel any way you want and tighten it down. I think you can see